class. Alright, today I'm your instructor Rachel, and today we're going to be learning about the proper clothing you should wear sailing. That's the objective today, to learn all the different types of clothing you can wear sailing and when to wear it depending on the weather. So first we're going to start off with a lecture, we're going to do a group activity, and then we're going to finish off the lesson with a discussion, alright?
Okay.
Okay, so firstly I'm going to introduce to you all the different types of clothing you can wear sailing, and I split it up into different categories: always necessary, sunny, rainy, cold, and windy. And you're going to learn that when we go through the different weather cases that some of the clothing items overlap and you can wear them on some of the same weather conditions. So firstly, always wear sailing. You should always have a life jacket with you for safety reasons, a PFD like this. You should always be wearing a bathing suit since we're going to be in the water and be doing aquatic activities. You should always have closed-toed shoes like this, or Crocs, or sailing booties. That's to protect your feet from cuts so you can have good grip, and it's another safety thing, just so you don't fall down a lot. Don't wear flip-flops sailing. That's not very safe. And lastly, sunscreen. Even if it's sunny, rainy, cold, or windy, you should always have sunscreen with you to protect your skin. You don't want to be getting sunburned. It's very uncomfortable. Alright, so now let's go through sunny. Sunny, you should always have sunglasses, hat, and some sort of t-shirt to protect your shoulders, or a rash guard. So here's a good hat you could wear. It'll protect your face from the sun. You could also have sunglasses to protect your eyes, and also the rash guard I was talking about actually. Here's an example of one. A lot of them have built-in SPF, so it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. So you can wear this to stay warm, and to protect yourself from the sun. Next, rainy. You should obviously be wearing a raincoat that's waterproof or water resistant to protect yourself from the rain. It'll keep you warm. And you should also be wearing a rash guard or a t-shirt underneath to keep yourself warm. On cold days, you want to layer up. You don't just want to wear one big jacket. You should probably be wearing layers. So maybe like a t-shirt, a sweater, and then a raincoat or a jacket. So here I have a jacket, a raincoat, leggings, or a wetsuit. So if it's really cold, you can be wearing a wetsuit. Or you can wear a pair of thick leggings like this on top of your bathing suit and with your jacket to keep yourself nice and warm. Okay, on windy days, you should also be wearing a windbreaker. It's a type of jacket or raincoat just to protect yourself from the wind chill and keep yourself warm. Okay, so does everyone understand?
Yeah!
Does anyone have? Okay, so before we get started with the group activity, I want to talk to you about some optional clothing items. For example, sailing gloves. You can wear sailing gloves on any wind conditions. Mostly are worn on really windy days because they have really good grip and they'll help protect your hands from rope burn. Also, on colder days, you could also wear a hat like this. You can wear a toque to keep your head nice and warm, and it'll cover your ears to keep your head warm. So you guys ready for the activity now?
Yeah!
Okay, so I'll explain it to you. We're going to have a fun dress-up game. We're going to call it Dress for Success. I'm going to give each one of you a weather condition, and I want you guys to dress for success for that weather condition. I have all the clothing laid out here on this table. So Catherine, your weather condition is going to be sunny and windy. I want you to dress as if you're going sailing on a really sunny and windy day. And Emily, you're going to be sailing on a rainy and cold day. So that's the weather condition I want you to be prepared for. So you guys can go ahead and start getting ready. Pick out your clothes.
Smells.
Awesome. And then when this is all over, I want you guys to explain to the class why you picked out those clothing items for that weather condition. Alright, I don't want you guys to forget about your closed-toed shoes because we all know how important those are.
Yes, they
Here
are.
you go, Catherine. You can wear that pair if you'd like.
Oh, good.
Alright, we're just waiting on Emily now. She had to wear more layers because she's sailing on the colder day.
And then my gloves.
Alright, so is everyone ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, who wants to present their outfit first? Alright, Catherine, you can show us how you dress for
So-
success today.
I have a hat, so it's like a long rim, so it protects from the sun, but like not for the cold, like her hat, whatever that is. I would usually wear a shirt for the thing, and closed-toed shoes. I have a windbreaker here. It's very nice.
Still. Yeah?
And some awesome sunglasses, and my gloves.
Awesome. And I noticed that right now you didn't have to put on the sunscreen, but I liked how you grabbed it to be prepared. And you guys should remember that when you're sailing, you want to reapply your sunscreen frequently throughout the day because it can wash off in the water and with a lot of sweating. And Emily, how about your outfit? How did you dress for success on your windy and rainy day?
I wore really warm clothes that
And-
will keep me from
So
the
this
cold.
is rainy and cold, sorry.
Yeah, and the water.
Yeah?
And I did have a hat, but I lost it.
It's in your hood. So yeah, you can see how Emily's hat covers your ears to keep your head a little more warmer, whereas Catherine's hat has the rim to keep.
And then I have my closed-toed
Is
shoes,
that away?
and then I have sunglasses just in case it gets sunny.
Awesome job.
And then I have a rain jacket
Mhm.
and a flash shirt and
Nice.
some really thick leggings and horseshoe.
Awesome. I liked how you picked out the long sleeve because you were sailing on a colder day, and you grabbed the short sleeve because you knew it wasn't going to be as cold. Also, when you're sailing, it's great to be prepared, so it's okay if you go out a little overdressed because as you're sailing throughout the day and you get a little warmed up, you can take off layers if you start to get too hot. So just always be prepared. So, any questions? All right, you guys can undress and then we can have our discussion. Just take off all your sailing gear because you guys are probably getting pretty hot. You can just take off all the sailing gear, especially Emily. Emily's dressed very warmly, and then we'll have a discussion.
I'm sweating.
So I know because I didn't have this item of clothing here available for you guys, you both are not wearing this right now, but
Life jacket.
correct. You always want to be wearing a life jacket, no matter what the weather condition. All right. So I'll just quickly do a discussion so we can wrap this up. So I want you guys to remember that these 4 items are necessary when you're sailing all the time. You always want to be wearing your PFD for safety reasons, your bathing suit because you're going to be in the water, closed-toed shoes to protect your feet, and sunscreen to protect your skin. And then for these weather conditions, just dress comfortably. Make sure you're dressed in layers, especially on the colder days. And then if you get too hot, it's okay. You can just take off a layer and keep them in your boat in the turtle bag. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Yes, please.
Well, if there's a thunderstorm, what do you wear then?
All right. This isn't about clothing, but if there's ever a thunderstorm, you do not want to go sailing because the masts are highly conductive and it's very dangerous with all the lightning. Exactly. Any other questions? Awesome.